And again, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh said that he will wake up the dry bones in these end times. And we're going to go, let's go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37. And it reads, and the hand of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord Yahweh, and set me down in the midst of a valley, which was full of bones. And we say the valley that is full of bones, we're talking about America, Babylon the Great, spiritual Egypt. You know, when you look at our people, it's a valley because it's full of bones, man. You know, you can go to the church, you can go to the gym, you can go all over America, and wherever you see the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, it's like they're in a deep valley. Why? Because we're full of dead bones. Why? We don't have the spirit. Y'all go to church every Sunday, at least you did prior to the 19 hitting, taking stage, center stage. You went to church every Sunday, but yet you were still dry. And why was you still dry? Because the church don't teach you anything. This is what the church teach you. The church will teach you got the marriage ministry. You got the single ministries. You got the, what else ministries you have? You have all these different ministries, you know, but they all teach earthly things. They all teach you earthly things. They don't teach you anything spiritually. They don't try to feed your spirit by the word of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And let's get that, because y'all know y'all are constantly in the churches. Everybody know you go to church every Sunday. Let's go to the book of Romans. The book of Romans, chapter 10 and verse 2. Matter of fact, I start at verse 1. It says, brethren, this is Apostle Paul speaking. It says, brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to Yahweh is for Israel, is that they might be saved. So Paul was speaking to, saying, hey, my heart's desire is that Israel, that they might be saved. When he said Israel, he's not talking about, you know, what they call it, the replacement theology, where the Christian church today teach that everybody can be Israel. Everybody can be Israel. Why all of a sudden when we get ready to get our inheritance, which is the kingdom of heaven, now everybody can be Israel? Why I can't be a white man then? If everybody can be Israel, why I can't walk out here today, go put on a job application, say I'm a white man, and they'll sit up there and say, why? Because we know they're going to judge me according to my appearance anyway, right? They're going to say, no, it appears to you that you might be a so-called black man. But everybody can be Israel. Everybody. Moab can be Israel. The Japanese can be Israel. You know, the Israelites can be Israel. But we know damn well, y'all, when a black man, so-called black man in America say that they're Israelites, all hell break loose. Hell no, you niggas can't be Israelites. You know, that's even within our home community. We Gentiles. That's what the first thing of a black, so-called black man or woman gonna be like. We Gentiles. We can't be Israelites. But you'll go and look at the plane, you'll see a Japanese man talking about he an Israelite. You'll look at an Israelite man once again say he an Israelite. You'll look at a Chinese man saying he an Israelite. But it's all acceptable. But when the people of the Bible who are the true Israelites on the planet Earth, who call themselves black, call themselves Native American, call themselves so-called Hispanics, they can't be Israelites. What? Verse 2, for I bear them record, they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. That's why it came out of Hosea 4 and 6. It say, for my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Even right here in Romans 10 and 2, it tell you, again, for I bear them record, they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. Yeah, y'all got a big zeal. You go to church, again, prior to the 19 hit, you couldn't find the so-called black man and the black woman anywhere else but on the church. They either part of the different little ministries, or they gonna be a part of when they walk you in the church. You know, they do all kind of things in the church. They got a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. Let's go back to Ezekiel, chapter 37, verse 2. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 37 and verse 2. And caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. And this open valley is talking about America, Babylon the Great, and wherever our people have been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, which Hamashiach Yahweh Shai scattered us. Yeah, you very dry. Everywhere you go, we are very dry, except that remnant. That remnant, those that are waking up and calling on the name of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. We got that living, we're living on that living bread. We're eating that living bread, that spiritual water. We are not thirsty. The Most High said, he that believeth on me. Matter of fact, let's just get it. I don't want to. Let's just get it. We'll come back to Ezekiel. The book of St. John, chapter 6, and verse 51. It say, and this is in a red letter, and it reads, I am the living bread which come down from heaven. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread that I will give is my flesh, will I give for the life of the world. And we know he's talking about the world of Israel. He's talking about the world of Israel. Matter of fact, let's prove that. Let's go to the blue letter. Let's go to the blue letter. We're going to look up that word world. See, because everybody, see, he said world right there. He said world. No, devil. Y'all don't get partake in this one. Let's look up this word world. Oh, damn internet. When my phone went off, I lost my internet. Well, I'll put it in the remarks. I lost my internet, and I have to stop the video to go back, to connect my internet. So we just gonna have to get that on a later date. All right, back to Ezekiel chapter 37. It's a lucky for that, man. Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 3. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord Yahweh, thou knowest. The Most High said, can these old dry bones live? He said, thou knowest. Thou knowest, Yahweh, can these bones live? Yeah, they can live. Even though we've been scattered, even though we're unstable, yes, we can live, because we are living. We are waking up. We are calling on the name of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah in these end days. Verse 4, Ezekiel 37 and 4. Again he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. He said, prophesy unto these dry bones, hear the word of the Lord, and live. And that's what's happening. You can see it. You got men, you got women, and you got children are calling upon the name of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah through the four corners of the earth right now. You have a mass awakening that's taking place right now. People call themselves Israelites, but it's one thing to know that you're an Israelite. The second thing is to know that you got to practice the righteous acts of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah. The most important thing is we know that Hamashiach Yahweh Shah, he is that bread of life. I just read out of St. John 6 and 51. He gave his life upon that cross for our sins and to redeem us back to the Father Yahweh. So that's the first thing you need to know when you repent. That's the first thing you need to know. And secondly, that the law, statutes, commandments are still are very much a part of the ministry. They're not the major thing. The major thing of the ministry, you must believe on the name of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah. But it's a major part of the ministry that we practice the righteous acts of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah to show our faithfulness during this time. To show our faithfulness during this time. You can go to, matter of fact, let's go to Romans the 8th chapter. The book of Romans chapter 8 and verse 1. And it reads, there is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Hamashiach Yahweh Shah, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. You have to walk after the spirit of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah. And everything about the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah was in righteousness. So if he was righteousness, shouldn't the law, statutes, commandments that where he came about and was preaching, wouldn't they be righteousness as well? Verse 2, Romans 8 and 2. For the law of the spirit of life in Hamashiach Yahweh Shah have made me free from the law of sin and death. It made us free from the law of sin and death. And And that's going to go over a lot of y'all heads. See, it made us free from the law and sin and death. When you read, you must read and understand in the context and what the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua is saying. Hey, you must understand what the scriptures are saying. Verse 3, Romans 8:3, for what the law could not do, and that it was weak through the flesh, Yahweh sending his own son in the likeness of a sinful flesh, Hamashiach Yahushua came as in a sinful flesh, and for sin, condemned sin in the flesh. And he condemned sin in the flesh. Why? Because our people were doing all manner of things. Our people were doing all manner of things, man. We was worshiping pagan gods. And that's a law, not to worship nobody but the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You see, you go back to Exodus 20th chapter. You see, that's why you about to understand. You have to understand and you have to read in context of what the Most High Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is saying. Verse 4, and then we're going to go back to Ezekiel 37, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. So we walk after the Spirit of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, and walking after the Spirit of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is adhering to the law, statutes, commandments of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Hell, even your Creflo Theflo Dolly even said that y'all should get rid of the 10 commandments, and y'all was clapping y'all damn hands. But if y'all got rid of y'all 10 commandments, let one of y'all husbands, Jake, let one of y'all wives go out there and commit adultery. You niggas will be all up in arms, mad, ready to kill the world. That's if the law was done away with. If the law was done away with, we can live a reckless, a reckless life. You can't live a reckless life. There's no such thing as just living a reckless life. We lived a reckless life 2,000 years ago, and look what it got us. Look what it got our ancestors. Our ancestors went and captured, kidnapped from western part of Africa and brought over here to the Americas, and we've been treated like shit since we've been over here and continue to be treated like shit. And yet 2/3 of you people still want to sit around here and try to save Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Y'all still want to continue to kiss his ass when he don't show y'all no love, no reverence towards y'all as being God's chosen people. Amazing. But insanity. Our people are mad. Our people are mad, man. Back to Ezekiel 37 and verse 5. Thus saith the Most High Yahweh unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and you should live. And the Most High, he said he's going to cause breath to enter into us, and we're going to live. And we're living. We're living through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And this earth, we just existing here in America, we just exist. But when we open up this Bible, and once we start preaching and telling our people who we are as a nation of people, and what role we play, again, we're living. We're living. We know that we only exist in here. Why? You have to say it all the time. You the last hired, first fired. We own absolutely nothing that matters. You don't own no hospitals. You don't own no emergency care facilities. You don't own no banks. You don't own no major clothing stores. You don't own no water. You don't own no grocery stores. We don't own anything, man, here in America. We don't own no electric grid to keep our electricity. We don't own no land. We own absolutely nothing here in America, Babylon the Great. But yet y'all want to gravitate and hold on to something that is not going to benefit you at all. But when we come and tell y'all that y'all are the biblical Israelites that the Bible speaks of, which will benefit you, y'all resist that. Y'all resist being told that y'all are God's chosen people, because y'all want Esau to be God's chosen people as well. That's why it came out of Hosea 4 and 6. That's why we came out of Romans 10 and 2. Y'all got a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. Verse 6, it says, and I will lay sinew upon you, and I will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And that's what he's doing. By their hopeful elect, and that 1/3, and that innumerable multitude that calling on the name of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Ezekiel 37 is a chapter you should read every day, pretty much. If you ask me, and I know it's Apostle Har favorite chapter. He loved Ezekiel 37. And if you want to really get a full, great, beautiful breakdown, let him go to his page and let him bring it out. But I'm going to bring it out my way. But go to his page. He loved Ezekiel 37. Everybody should. Why? Because this is the great awakening that's taking place within our people, within you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. The great awakening is happening because Ezekiel 37 is coming to pass right now in this very day. This is a future prophecy that is taking place on the planet Earth. And what valley? What valley we in? What valley we're in? Psalms 23. Go read it. We're in the valley of the shadow of death. If we're not in the valley of the shadow of death, tell me who is. What other nation of people is in the valley of the shadow of death? Tell me what nation of people in America that's residing right now in Babylon that's in the valley of the shadow of death. Is Moab, the Chinese, are they in the valley of the shadow of death? Do they get harassed? Do they get locked up? Are they getting slaved by their oppressors? Is it the Japanese, the Ammonites? Is the Ishmaelites? The only people that are constantly in the valley of the shadow of death that you have to, it's so bad here in America for the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American man that we have to start telling their kids when they get past 6 and 7 years old how they supposed to conduct themselves when the slave patrol confront them. That's how bad it is in the valley of the shadow of death here in Babylon the Great, America, for the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. We have to sit around a table, and the mother and the father have to sit down and tell them that they got to bow down. You know, listen, son, you know, if you out and you and your friends are out and about, if the police come up to you, y'all, you know, you stop, show them your hands, you know, bow your head, you know, and be like, yes, sir, and no, sir, and no, sir. White folks don't have to go tell their kids, sit down and have no damn conversation about the police pulling them over and how they supposed to act. They don't have that. They don't have to have the Chinese man ain't got to do that. The Japanese man ain't got to sit down and have be at the dinner table and hey, it's time to have that talk. Like you about to have that same talk with your daughter about sex or your son about sex. No, you have to sit down and tell them, hey, because the police, they see our 5-year-olds as threatening. But a 37-year-old white man, he's a young man. He didn't quite understand, but a 5-year-old, he can't understand. A so-called 5-year-old Negro, Latino, and Native American kid, he should know better. We're in the valley of the shadow of death, whether you like it or not. And many of you niggas think just because y'all don't came up and y'all got a couple of white friends, you know, and this and that, y'all think y'all don't know shit. You know, when your son get 15 and 13, 14 and 15 years old, y'all gonna have to have that conversation with your son. He gonna realize his ass is black. He gonna realize that there's a difference between the so-called Edomite boy and the so-called Jake boy. Y'all gonna realize that. Because if you don't realize, you don't teach him that lesson, his ass gonna go out there and thinking that he equal, that he got equality with the so-called white man, that white police officer is gonna fucking put them things on him. Then we're gonna be crying. Then everybody gonna be saying, my son was a good boy. He loved everybody. He brought joy to everybody hard. Or your daughter. Because why? Because Esau got a perpetual hatred towards you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. He got a perpetual hatred towards our people. I already read it one time, Ezekiel 35:5. He got a perpetual hatred towards you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. It ain't shit you can do about it. It ain't nothing you can do. You can't go sing Kumbaya with him. He's not going, you can't go bow down to him. That's just the way the Most High created Esau, Edom, to have a perpetual hatred towards you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. And y'all still gonna sit up here and say, well, that ain't so, cause I got one friend And you quick to hear a white man, well, I got one black friend, so that's cool, yeah. But yet, then y'all still can't see the difference. Verse 7, so I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking of, and bones came together, bones to his bones, and all bones came together. Why? Because that great awakening, that spirit, he said he's going to breathe life into us, man, and we shall live. The Most High breathing life into the men of the Lord and those that are calling upon the name of the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh. That's why we living. That's why we can come out here and do these lessons today. That's why we can come so boldly in front of our oppressors and tell them that they ass going into captivity, according to the book of Revelation 13, 9, and 10. That's why we tell them what they end goal is going to be. That they're going to be underneath us, and we're going to rule over them with a rod of iron as they ruled over us in their kingdom. Verse 8, Ezekiel 37 and 8. And when I beheld, lo, the sinew and the flesh came upon them, and skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. Yeah, the Most High, he gave us all this. He gave us all this. And many, 2/3 of y'all are still walking. Y'all got skin. You got sinew. You got the ligaments and stuff, but y'all ain't got no breath in y'all. Y'all constantly, again, I say y'all constantly at the churches, but y'all still don't have a breath. Y'all still don't quite get it. Y'all still are living, y'all still got that Hosea 4 and 6 syndrome. Y'all still got Romans 10 and 2 syndrome. Y'all still got Jeremiah 4 and 22 syndrome. Y'all gonna continue to have that. 2/3 of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. Verse 9, then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind. And that's what you might see me doing right now, prophesy unto the wind. Prophesy unto the wind, because ain't nobody out here today. Now people be driving their cars, playing over there in that parking lot over there, but there's nobody out here today. Said, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say unto the wind, thus saith the Lord, the Most High Yahweh, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain that they may live. The Most High telling the angels, Mr. The angel telling Ezekiel, hey, prophesy to the wind that they may live. And this, hopefully this word will reach whoever it's supposed to reach. We know it's not going to reach 2/3 of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, but that hopefully elect in that remnant, that innumerable multitude, it'll reach. And they're going to say, hey, wow, the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh breathed life into me. Now I understand when these men are talking about who is Esau, who is Jacob. Now I understand that. And what role each one of those nations play. Now I understand that we're the biblical Israelites that the Bible speaks of. That Deuteronomy 28:6-8 is talking about us. And when it says no man shall redeem us, that no man will redeem us except the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh. Harriet Tubman couldn't redeem you niggas. She couldn't redeem you. Yeah, she went and got a bunch of people out of from the south and took them to the north, but she couldn't redeem all of y'all. The Most High Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh is going to do all the redeeming. You got something Jake talking about, all you got to do is look up that one word, redeem. There you shall be sold unto your enemies. And then at the end said, there, how you going to be sold to your enemies and nobody buy you? Come on, man. See, Jake could do anything because Jake want to satisfy the craving of the woman. See, that's one thing about Jake I always realize, like on these platforms, Jake want to get a whole bunch of women. We don't want no women on our platforms. I don't need no woman on my platform. I don't need a woman. Job 39:17 tell me that I don't need a woman on my platform. Read Job 39:17, because they're not going to get it. They're not going to get it. Especially a 2/3 woman. She'll never get it. So that why I'm going to sit there and have a conversation with 2/3 woman, Jake? We don't need to have that conversation. That conversation, that's a dead end. Dead end. Verse 10. And so I prophesied and he commanded me, and breath came into them, and they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceedingly great army. And I love this, man, exceedingly great army. And that's what we're standing upon our feet. We're exceedingly great army. Why? Because we coming in that spirit and power, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. That's a great army. That's a great army. And we don't need a weapon. I have to say this every time I read this chapter. We don't need an army. We got this word right here. That's our weapon. That's our weapon. That's our weapon. We don't need a damn 9mm. We don't need a AR-15. We don't need a goddamn a bazooka. We don't need that. That's Esau. He a carnal-minded man. He need his weapon, his Fourth Amendment right, or his Second Amendment right, the right to bear arms. That was their blessing. We weren't blessed with no damn weapons. We weren't blessed to go. We don't make weapons. We don't trade weapons. We don't make weapons. We don't do all those things. Now, I'm not saying if you got a gun that you wicked. No, if you got a gun, you got a gun. Hell, I got a gun. But my past job required that me have a gun. I was paid to carry a gun. So, yeah, I got a gun. But I know that gun ain't going to save me. I know that gun ain't going to save me when all hell break loose. I know only through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, will I be receiving any kind of covering via his holy angels. So I'm not depending on no gun. I'm depending on the word, on this word right here. I'm depending on the Lord Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. I'm depending on his word. Verse 11. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. See, he said, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Why? These bones in the valley of the shadow of death. These dry bones are the whole house of Israel. So now, that replacement theology is that everybody can be Israel. Replacement theology is everybody can be Israel now. So if everybody can be Israel, why I can't be a so-called Japanese man? Even though both my parents would be so-called Judites. Why I can't just say, walk up into the Japanese, the Japanese consulate and say, hey, I'm Japanese. I want my citizenship. First of all, I'm not free. I can't get over there. But why I can't just walk up into Esau and say, hey, man, I'm a white man. If the police come up to me and, hey, man, give me that white privilege. I'm a white man. But everybody can be Israel except you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. Everybody can be an Israelite. Everybody can be Israel except for the so-called black man wake up and say, hey, I'm an Israelite. And everybody look at you. Nigga, you ain't no Israelite. Even your people within your same community, even your Christian church gonna be like, you're a Gentile. But no, I'm an Israelite. No, you ain't no Israelite. The Japanese man can be an Israelite. The Chinese man can be an Israelite. The white man can be an Israelite. The Israelite man can be an Israelite. They all can be Israelites. But when the so-called black man here in America, because we're in this captivity, we can only be black, Afro-American, Hispanic, and Native American. We can't call ourselves Israelites. All hell break loose then. Then they tell us we practicing hate speech because we calling ourselves Israelites. But everybody else can be it, and everybody just is content and happy with it. Let's read that again. Then said he unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say our bones are dried and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. So how can the Japanese man, their hope ain't lost? They got a whole nation. They got a whole country to themselves. The Chinese man can't say they cut off. They got a whole country to themselves. Let's read that again, man. Then, verse 11, Ezekiel 37:11. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say our bones are dried and our hope is lost. He said, our hope is lost. Is the Japanese man hope lost? They got a country that's thriving. The Chinese man, is they hope lost? They got a country that's thriving. It's the so-called red man, the Idumean man, the Edomite man. They hope might be coming. They hope is starting to be lost. Why? Because they know that Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. But for all intents purposes, they country is still, you know, as you drive around, Esau don't look like they got no worries. They still shopping, they still marrying, they still having fun. So all, you know, on the top surface, it don't look like they got no problems. But the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, your hope, because you are the biblical Israelite, all hope is lost. Let's read it. Let's continue. Our bones are dry. Our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. We've been cut off from our parts, man. We've been cut off. They done told us that we were black. Our parts we got, Jerusalem is our homeland. They done cut us off from that and told us we could stay here as long as we call ourselves black, as long as we call ourselves Afro-American, as long as we call ourselves Chinese, call ourselves Mexicans and Puerto Ricans, you know, and Cubans. You know, if we call ourselves those and savages, hey, y'all good to go. But don't wake up and call yourself no Israelite. Don't you call yourself an Israelite. Because now all hell breaking loose. Now they looking at you like, why are he trying to call himself a damn Israelite? Don't he know the Israelites are the people over there in the land calling themselves the Jewish, the 1948ers, who America gave that land to in 1948 and set those people in that land? They were the real Israelites. The people that don't even believe in good old Jesus the Christ. They don't even believe in Jesus the Christ. So how can they be the people of the Lord? They don't even believe in good old Jesus the Christ. So, but yet America continues to support them, continues to send billions and billions and billions of dollars to the people who say that they us. It's amazing. It's amazing. Absolute. Verse 12. Therefore prophesy, saying to them, thus saith the Most High Yahweh, behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. The Most High, you know, we're in a dead state, man. We're in a dead state. And we're going to go into the land of Israel. Go read Jeremiah the 16th chapter. We're going to go back into Israel. Verse 13, Ezekiel 37:13. And you shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves. You know, when the valley of dry bones said, can these bones live, right? In the open valley, and they were very dry. He's saying, the Most High saying right here, he said, and brought you up out of your graves. He brought us up out of the graves. The hopeful elect and that hopeful 1/3, and that remnant, our numerable remnant. He's breaking us up out of those graves, that dead state. We know 2/3 could never get out of their dead state, because 2/3 are insane, or they are insane. 2/3 of our people are insane. 2/3 of our people, you know, are double-minded. They unstable. 2/3 of our people are unstable. So how can he don't, Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua don't want to work up an unstable man. Let an unstable man stay right where he at. Stay right where you at, unstable man, unstable woman. Stay where you at. Stay in the Christian church. Stay, you know, practicing your new gospel songs. That's what y'all need to do. Just go to Kirk Franklin and all them other guys to give y'all some new gospel songs during this time, so y'all can feel good. Since though y'all like those smooth words, that Isaiah 30:10, y'all like that smooth words. Oh, God loves everybody. That should be enough. They ought to just go and make a remake. God loves everybody remake for that. Verse 14. And shall put my spirit in you. The Most High gonna put his spirit in us. And ye shall live, and shall place you in your own land. Then shall you know that I, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, have spoken it and performed it, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Verse 15, and the word of the Lord came to me again, saying, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick. And that's what he's talking about when you see the brothers with their signs. And I've been preaching too long. My ministry not to have that sign, but I be on that, so I can't carry it a lot on the bike. And you see that sign, and it had the 12 tribes of the children of Israel on it. And that's a beautiful sign, man, to have. It's beautiful, man, that the men of the Lord are back on earth, that are prophesying the downfall and destruction of this wicked kingdom, that we're telling you tribes who you are. Telling y'all that you should be waking up. Telling y'all that Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah 30:7, is about to take place. Telling y'all that the Charagma is about to be a mandatory implementation here in Babylon the Great, spoken of in Revelation 16 through 18. Telling y'all that World War III is about to take place. We're telling you all these things so you can prepare yourself. We're telling you these things so you can start calling on the name of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, so you can get that covering during the time of tribulation. We're trying to tell you these things. We're not trying to tell you these things for money. We're not trying to tell you these things because we want a large following. To the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai belongs the honor, the glory, and the praise. Not man, in which 2/3 of our people always constantly praising the man, always praising their pastor, always praising everybody except the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, constantly praising the pastor. Pastor, that was so great today. Pastor ain't said shit other than a bunch of worldly things. Got you in your emotions. Man, we're in biblical times, man. We're in biblical prophecies popping off on the earth daily, man. Daily. And it's a beautiful time, man. You know, you got chariot sightings. The chariots are starting back, picking back up. Sightings all over the four corners of the earth. Who the world ignorantly calls unidentifiable aerial phenomenons, saying that they look green men with big heads. Y'all will believe everything Esau put out. But when we tell y'all that it's the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai angels, oh, we cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But you niggas believe in a green man with a big head that's gonna come and invade the earth. But we supposed to be crazy. We crazy because we believe in the angels of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But y'all not crazy because y'all believe that there's some green man coming to the earth and it's gonna try to destroy, capture you sheep. It's amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. When the scriptures talk about the chariots of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Let's see if we can get that one. Let's get it. That was in it's like, yeah. It was the 2 Kings. 2 Kings. 2 Kings chapter 6. And this is just one precept when we talk about the chariots of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Let's read. Let me see where I'm gonna start at. I might have to start all the way up, but I'm not. And we know this is the story with Elisha, right? And we'll start at verse 9. Now we'll start at verse 8. The book of 2 Kings chapter 6 and verse 8. Then the king of Syria warred against Israel and took counsel with his servants, saying, and such a place shall be my camp. Verse 9. And the man of God sent unto the king of Israel, saying, beware, that thou passest not such a place, for thither the Syrians are come down. Verse 10, and the king of Israel sent to the place which the man of God told him and warned him of, and saved himself there, not once nor twice. Verse 11, therefore the hearts of the king of Syria were sore troubled for this thing, and he called his servant and said unto them, will ye not show me which of us is for the king of Israel? So, and one of the servants said, none, my lord, O king, but Elisha the prophet, that is in Israel, telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in thy bedchambers. Hold on. Yeah. Verse 13, verse 12, did it? Yeah, verse 12. 2 Kings 6 and 12. And one of the servants said, none, my lord, O king, but Elisha, the prophet, that is in Israel, telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in thy chamber. So Elisha was getting, he was getting signs from the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua how to move about, for the king of Israel against the king of Syria. Verse 13, and he said, go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, behold, he is in Dothan. Verse 14, therefore sent he thither horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about. Verse 15, 2 Kings 6 and 15, and when the servant of the man of God was risen early and gone forth, behold, the host compassed the city both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, at last, my master, how shall we do? Verse 16, and he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. So Elisha is saying, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. Verse 17 is the point, and I'm going to read it, and you're going to have to see. And whether they, verse 17, and Elisha prayed and said, Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, I pray thee, open his eyes. So he said, hey, open his eyes, Lord, so that he could see the chariots. Obviously he was with Elisha, so he was telling him, open his eyes. You can see the chariots of Syria and his horsemen. You can see them, but he couldn't see the chariots of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. He couldn't see the chariots that was in the sky. So he said, verse 17, and Elisha prayed and said, Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha, about fire. Hey man, when you go to a plane take off on a runway, man, he using all kind of fuel to get down that runway. And then when that motor starts, you might see fire coming in, especially if you've been on an aircraft carrier or whatnot, and they doing landing and recoveries at night. You'll see fire coming out of them jet planes, man. So that's the same thing he's seen. He's seen fire coming out of the tail ends of those chariots. He's seen fire. He didn't see no fire coming out of the horses. He didn't see no fire coming out of those little chariots that they was standing on, and they would be whipping the horse. He didn't see no fire coming out of them. He seen fire coming out of the chariots of the Lord Yahweh. That's why he told him he had to open his eyes, Lord, so that he can see. He couldn't see them chariots as Elisha can see them. But yet we believe in that, and y'all tell us we crazy. But y'all, 2/3 of you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, along with Esau, Edom, and all the other heathen nations, believe that a little green man is going to come and invade the earth. But we supposed to be damn crazy. Okay. Noted. And we'll fit in verse 18, 2 Kings 6 and 18. And when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto the Lord Yahweh and said, smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness, and smote them with blindness according to the words of Elisha. Smote them with blindness, man. They couldn't see no chariots, man. Hey, man, the Lord put the things on them, man. The same thing that's going to happen in this end time. When Hamashiach Yahweh Shah, when he break that sky, when a so-called black man break that sky. Because he coming with cloud, and every eye shall see him, even those that pierced him, right? Revelation 1:7. Everybody going to see him. And in amazement, to 2/3 going to be, damn, he is a black man. He would be a so-called black man on the earth. But the elect, we're going to be getting beamed up. While everybody else, y'all don't went and took y'all charagma. Y'all don't went and took y'all grain and rice. Y'all going to be having a good old time because y'all took y'all grain and rice. Y'all going to be move a little, well, y'all ain't going to have no freedom again. You know, it's going to be your third time in goddamn captivity. You know, y'all going to be on winning captivity from the transatlantic slave trade to the civil rights to the charagma. Because y'all ain't going to have no, y'all going to be in slavery again. But we freeing ourselves from that bondage. We're freeing ourselves by calling on the name of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. We're going to be able to say what we want to say and do what we want to do. That's what we're doing. That's why we're proclaiming the name of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. That's why we're that exceedingly great army right now. Because you're not going to keep enslaving us. Hey, the Most High, he caused breath to enter into us. Now we call upon his name, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. You ain't got to like it, but you're going to accept it. So who's crazy? If you believe a green man or you believe in the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, you tell me who the crazy is. I know I'm not crazy. I know the men that are calling upon the name of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah not crazy. Because we got faith. So I'm going to close out there. I want to give all honor, all glory, all praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and to the Akim and Akwaf listening and learning. To you I say Shalom.